Driving through Naypyidaw, Burma's purpose-built capital, it's easy to forget you're in one of Southeast Asia's poorest countries. A seemingly unending series of enormous detached buildings, villa-style hotels, and shopping malls appear to have fallen from the sky on each side of the boulevard, all painted in soft pastel colors, light pink, baby blue, and beige. The roads have recently been resurfaced and are lined with flowers and carefully trimmed greenery. Large flower sculptures at roundabouts that have been meticulously planted. The vastness of this bizarre city is impossible to describe. It is estimated to be 4,800 square kilometers in size, which is 6 times the size of New York City. Everything appears to be enormous. The streets have up to 20 lanes and stretch as far as the eye can see. The rumor is that these grandiose boulevards were built to allow aircraft to land on them in the event of anti-government protests or other disturbances. A safari park, a zoo featuring an air-conditioned penguin habitat, and at least 4 golf courses are available. Unlike in much of the country, electricity is reliable here. Many of the restaurants offer free high-speed Wi-Fi. The only thing Naypyidaw appears to be lacking is people. The enormous highways are virtually deserted, and the air is silent. Nothing is moving. Officially, the city has a population of 1 million people. However, many believe this statistic is far from accurate. On a sunny Sunday afternoon, the streets are quiet, and restaurants and hotel lobbies are deserted. It appears to be an unnerving depiction of post-apocalyptic suburbia in America, similar to a David Lynch film shot on location in North Korea. So the big question mark here is, where are the people? Myanmar's capital and the 3rd largest city is Naypyidaw. The city is at the heart of the Naypyidaw Union Territory. It is unique among Myanmar's cities in that it is totally planned and not part of any state or area. On the 6th of November 2005, the city, then known only as Pinmana District, formally succeeded Yangon as Myanmar's administrative capital. Its official name was disclosed to the public on Armed Forces Day, the 27th of March 2006. As the seat of Myanmar's government, Naypyidaw houses the Union Parliament, the Supreme Court, the Presidential Palace, the official residences of Myanmar's cabinet, and the offices of government ministries and the military. Naypyidaw is unique in that it is both huge and has a low population density. The 24th and 25th ASEAN Summits, the 3rd BIMSTEC Summit, the 9th East Asia Summit, the 2013 Southeast Asian Games, and the 2014 AFC U19 Championship were all held in the city. Naypyidaw was established on a greenfield location near Pinmana, some 320 kilometers north of Yangon. Construction began in 2002 and was finished in 2012, and the military government engaged at least 25 construction companies to create the city for an estimated cost of $4 billion. On November 6, 2006, around 12,000 troops marched through the new capital in its first public event. A large military parade commemorating Armed Forces Day, the anniversary of Burma's 1945 revolution against Japanese domination. The concrete parade ground, which has massive sculptures of Kings Anarata, Bayanong, and Alongpaya, was used for filming. During these events, the city was formally christened Naypyidaw, and the country's official, albeit primarily administrative capital, was shifted from Yangon to Naypyidaw. Cityscape. Naypyidaw is divided into several zones. Residential areas. The residential zones are meticulously organized, and apartments are assigned based on rank and marital status. There are 1,204-story residential buildings in the city. Apartment building roofs are color-coded according to the jobs of their tenants. Ministry of Health staff live in buildings with blue roofs, while Ministry of Agriculture employees dwell in buildings with green roofs. There are approximately 50 mansions in which high-ranking government officials dwell. However, in 2019, some ministerial houses were found to be unoccupied and neglected in overgrown compounds. Ministry Zone. The Ministry Zone of the city houses the headquarters of Myanmar's government ministries. The appearance of all the ministry buildings is the same. Nearby is also a 31-building parliamentary complex and a 100-room presidential mansion. The zone also includes the City Hall building, which has numerous Stalinist architectural features, but a Burmese-style roof. military area high-ranking military officers and other essential officials dwell 11 kilometers apart from regular government employees in a complex made up of tunnels and bunkers. This location is off-limits to the public. In addition, the city is home to a military base that is inaccessible to inhabitants and other people without written permission. Diplomatic zone. The government has set aside 2 hectares of land for each foreign embassy and United Nations mission headquarters. In 2017, the Chinese embassy formally established its interim liaison office. The liaison office is the first foreign office authorized in Naypyidaw. Bangladesh and Malaysia have also agreed to establish embassies in Naypyidaw. The government confirms that 11 other nations have made bids to relocate their embassies to Naypyidaw, including Russia, China, the United States, India, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Turkey, and Kuwait. State Councilor Daw Aung San Suu Kyi presided over a conference at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Naypyidaw in February 2018, when she urged foreign nations to relocate their embassies to the capital, Hotel District. On the city's steep outskirts, the hotel zone has a number of villa-style hotels. In or near Naypyidaw, there are 12 hotels. 8 of these are in the Naypyidaw Hotel Zone, while 2 are on the Yangon-Mandalay Road in Lei, Lue. 40 villas were built near the Myanmar Convention Center in advance of the 25th ASEAN Summit, which took place in Naypyidaw in November 2014. The government started building the villas in 2010. Due to a lack of money, the project was later put out to tender for completion by private sector investors. To accommodate the competitors and spectators of the 2013 Southeast Asian Games, which were held in Naypyidaw, 348 hotels and 442 inns were built. Recreation area. Ngulek Lake Gardens is a tiny water park on Ngulek Lake near Kaweshan Village, approximately 11 kilometers from Naypyidaw. The Ngulek Lake Gardens, which opened in 2008, include water slides, natural resorts, hotels, and a beach. During the Thingyan holidays, the gardens are available to the public. The 81-hectare National Herbal Park, which opened in 2008, features exhibitions of plants with therapeutic purposes from all of Myanmar's major regions. The park contains thousands of plants of hundreds of different kinds. A park featuring a playground and a water fountain complex is located behind the City Hall and hosts a musical light show every night. The Naypyidaw Zoological Gardens was opened in 2008 with 420 species and has since expanded to 1,500 animals. The zoo's major draw is the climate-controlled penguin house. The animals were transported from the old one in Yangon. The Naypyidaw Safari Park opened on February 12, 2011. In addition, Naypyidaw boasts 2 golf courses, Naypyidaw City Golf Course and Yapyar Golf Course, as well as a gem museum. Administration. The Naypyidaw Union Territory is governed by 2 separate governing bodies at the state-regional level and as a municipality at the local level. Naypyidaw is one of 3 cities in Myanmar with municipal government, the other 2 being Yangon and Mandalay. The Naypyidaw Council, NPTC, is the territory's regional administrative body, reporting directly to the President of Myanmar. The council is nominated by the President and must have no fewer than 5 and no more than 10 members, including both civilians and military people. The chairperson becomes the ex officio mayor, while the head of the territory's General Administration Department, GAD, becomes the council secretary. The council's jurisdiction includes general planning, internal security coordination, nature conservation, emergency management, monitoring of public service organizations inside the territory, and any other functions allocated to it by the Constitution or legislation. The Naypyidaw Development Committee, NPTDC, is the territory's local governing authority. The president appoints the committee, which must have at least 5 members, but no more than 9. The chairperson of the committee is appointed mayor of Naypyidaw, the vice mayor is appointed vice mayor, and the head of office is appointed joint secretary of the committee. Due to the fact that both laws make the chair of the council and committee the mayor, the same individual holds both roles. Urban planning, land use planning, planning approval, traffic management, various public works, sewage treatment, water supply, sanitation, roads, bridges, drainage, and so on, and other local skills are all under the committee's control. Unlike the NPTC, which must request union government money for its budget, the committee is allowed to impose taxes to fund its work. The current mayor is Dr. Maung Maung Nang, who was elected chair of the Naypyidaw Council on February 2, 2021. Dr. Mayo Ong of the National League for Democracy Party served as mayor from April 1, 2016, to his arrest on February 1, 2021, following the Myanmar coup d'état of 2021. Now back to our question. Where are the people? Well, the answer is simple. They're back in the old capital. Living in Naypyidaw is extremely expensive. The average lunch cost is $5, which is almost double what a regular citizen makes in one day in Myanmar. Also, there aren't many businesses open in Naypyidaw, so if people move there, they simply won't find any work. So the other question that arises is, why did the government build it? Why was it built? The origins of the city are shrouded in legend and intrigue. Some see it as a vanity project of Than Shwe, the country's previous military leader. According to one 2006 U.S. government diplomatic cable obtained in the WikiLeaks trove of data, many believe the city's audacious name reflects illusions of grandeur or, perhaps another sign, of a Shwe's possible dementia. Other theories have suggested that an increasingly paranoid junta wants to relocate the capital away from the sea in order to avoid an amphibious U.S. assault. Instead, the center of military and political authority is now closer to restive regions where separatist movements and ethnic groupings are pressing for greater rights for repressed minorities, such as the Karen and Rohingya. The dictatorship in Than Shwe portrayed the transfer to Naypyidaw as analogous to constructing a new Canberra or Brasilia, an administrative capital away from Rangoon's traffic bottlenecks and overcrowding. Many people do not trust this account. By withdrawing from the major city, Rangoon, Than Shwe and the leadership sheltered themselves from any popular uprising. Campaigners Benedict Rogers and Jeremy Woodrum argue in their book, Than Shwe, Unmasking Burma's Tyrant. A moat surrounds Naypyidaw's majestic parliament building complex. The closest you can get before being stopped by towering metal gates and troops makes it difficult to distinguish the structures. There are also rumors about a massive network of tunnels beneath the city, with images purporting to show North Korean technicians instructing the government on how to construct them. The road from Rangoon to Naypyidaw extends more than 300 kilometers north through farmland and gently rising hills. On a Sunday, it is nearly empty and silent, but for the occasional automobile or lorry carrying hundreds of passengers jammed in the back like a makeshift minibus. Signs along the road warn drivers to keep attentive and obey speed limits. Now that leaves us with one final question. Why did the project actually fail? Costs and problems. According to one estimate, the cost was in the $4 billion USD region, with cash spending accounting for only a portion of the total because non-cash investments are also apparently involved in supporting the building endeavor. Vehicle traffic is now continuous over the 300 kilometers, 190 kilometers, roadway from Yangon to Naypyidaw, which has 4 lanes for most of the way. For much of the time on the road, there are few automobiles. The roadway is closed to most lorries moving north from Yangon to Naypyidaw and Mandalay. According to the Asian Development Bank, putting more trucks on the road would save more than $100 million a year in reduced travel time and other savings. There are proposals to widen the road to 6 lanes in order to improve safety. Because the majority of existing apartments are for government employees, the fraction of housing that satisfies expatriate demands is limited. Naypyidaw has recently joined the Global Summit Circuit, organizing events and meetings with world leaders and specialists. Barack Obama visited in 2014, and David Cameron visited in 2012. That same year, after gaining her historic seat in parliament, Aung San Suu Kyi, the regime's thorn in the flesh, relocated to Naypyidaw. According to NLD officials, she rented a property on the outskirts, a far cry from the renowned lakeside villa on Inya Lake, where she was held under house arrest on and off for 15 years. Naypyidaw too is far from being the dazzling symbol of the new Burma that the government has been attempting to promote. The city feels like an extreme test of the "if you build it, they will come" notion, with its sparkling new international airport. However, with the government now relocating at least one of its investment agencies back to Rangoon, it appears to be a spectacular failure. To watch more videos about abandoned capitals, click the link to learn more about Egypt's new administrative capital that's costing over $40 billion.